Case is 8-0 on the season. The Spartans come in at 4-4, and the Spartans now ranked 10th nationally by the American Football Coaches Association, 13th in America, according to D3Football.com. And so Case gets the Tartans at Case Field today on their home turf. What do you expect in the game today?
Well, I think you're going to see two completely different styles this afternoon. Case, wide open offense, likes to move up and down the field quickly. We talked about it earlier in the season, how fast and how often Case can put points on the board. Under 2 minutes, the amount of drives. That number is 18 drives, under 2 minutes for touchdowns this year. For the Carnegie Mellon Tartans, they like to grind it out. They're averaging over 230 yards a game on the ground. They run a variation of the wing tee offense. They hold the ball 5 to 6 minutes longer per game than their opponents. So where Case's quick strike, Carnegie Mellon has a very misdirection offense, counter plays, inside traps. They like to keep it on the ground, and they'll grind it out. Case will air it out this afternoon.
Definitely some contrasting styles here today, as these two University Athletic Association opponents go at it here at Case Field. The Spartans won last week against the University of Chicago by a score of 38-24, and Ed, they overcame some adversity in that game, turning it over more often than we've seen really the entire first 7 games combined.
Well, they overcame 5 turnovers, 3 of them in the red zone, and still managed to put up 38 points and outlast Chicago. Same thing happened last year in Pittsburgh against Carnegie Mellon. They overcame some turnovers late in the second half, early third quarter. Dan Whalen brought them back. They got tied at 17 near the end of the game. Sam Coffey with the field goal in overtime after a great defensive stand in the first part of the overtime when Carnegie Mellon had the ball. So Case has been able to do that to keep that string of 19 consecutive regular season wins alive. They've been able to overcome some things. Last week, again, 5 turnovers, and then last year against Carnegie Mellon also overcoming turnovers. Case still very good at taking the football away. They have taken the ball away from their opponents so far this year 23 times, only given it up a total of 10.
Washington University was the opponent of Carnegie Mellon last Saturday, and the Tartans lost that game to Wash U by a score of 16-8. And the Case Spartans will be at Washington University next Saturday to wrap up the regular season. As we said, Carnegie Mellon 4-4 on the season, and 2 of those victories have come on the road this year. The Spartans will receive to open play here this afternoon. The kickoff is in the air, and we are underway from Case Field today. This drifts back to the goal line. Brian Metalsitz will bring it back from his own goal line, hits the 15, and is tackled at about the 19-yard line. 19-yard return for Brian Metalsitz, and that's where the Spartans offense will come out, led of course by the junior quarterback Dan Whalen. Whalen comes into this game 110 completions in 179 attempts. That's good for 61.5%. He's thrown 15 touchdowns on the season, only 2 interceptions. He'll start out in the shotgun. The Spartans come out with a 4-receiver set, heavy on the right side. Whalen now is scrambling in the backfield as he rolls out to the right. He looks downfield, fires it, and it's complete to Sean Nicely near midfield. Nicely breaks into open territory. He's at the 45. Now turns around. He's still on his feet, picks his way forward past the 40, down to the 37-yard line of the Tartans.
The last 20 yards after he caught the football, Dave, looked like one of those backyard, take the ball away from the runner kind of activities that you'll see kids play around with. After Whalen made an incredible comeback to get out of traffic in the backfield, found Nicely downfield, and Nicely did the same thing Whalen did in the backfield, except he did it in the defensive secondary.
They do mark Nicely down on the 39-yard line. Whalen was nearly sacked by Clay Kreitz, the senior defensive lineman, but got away from Kreitz and bought some time and finally found Nicely downfield. They'll hand this one to Greg Meyer on the first down play. Meyer struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage, and so a 2nd and long coming up for Case. Greg Meyer, the leading rusher for the Spartans this year. That's his 50th carry of the year. He's rushed for just under 300 yards on the season, has scored 5 touchdowns for Case. Meyer getting the first call And it is 2nd down and 11 as Meyer was tackled for a 1-yard loss. Whalen calls out the signals. Football now marked on the Carnegie Mellon 40. Whalen throws, looking for Cowdrick, diving, one-handed catch, and he's down at the 23-yard line. 17-yard completion to Tim Cowdrick, who went airborne and hauled that one in. Cowdrick, the junior out of Mentor, Ohio, catches for a 1st down. Nice grab by Tim Cowdrick.
Cowdrick made that catch look as if the ball hit him right in the numbers.
Zach Homick is the lone receiver on the left. They line up Colasar wide right. Cowdrick and Nicely line up in the slot on the right side. Bill Deitman is checked in. He's the lone man in the backfield for the Spartans. 1st and 10 from the 23. Deitman straight up the middle, gets into the secondary, and he's tackled near the 13-yard line. Finally brought down by Carnegie Mellon safety John Shahol, who stopped Deitman from going all the way.
One note on that offensive line this afternoon, Dave. Neil Dolan not starting at center. Mike Allen, the freshman, replaces him. And on that play, Mike Allen had a nice turnout block against Sean Kennedy, the nose tackle for Carnegie Mellon. Really pushed him completely out of the hole. Deitman followed that block straight up the gut for 15 yards.
No score 1st quarter, and flags come out. The play clock was at 11, and a flag comes flying.
Illegal substitution.
Too many men on the field for Case.
Case huddled, sort of, enough that the referee thought that Case had 12 men kind of congregated at one time, which you can't do.
So they'll mark it back 5 yards. We have no score 1st quarter, 12:45 to play here in the opening minutes of the ball game today between Case and Carnegie Mellon. We're at Case Field. Spartans with the football and driving here early on. It's now 1st down and 15. The football on the Carnegie Mellon 18-yard line. Dan Whalen under center, goes back, fakes a handoff, swings it out to Ryan Colasar, and he's tackled back near the 19-yard line. Defended well by Steve McGovern, the senior quarterback out of Sunnyvale, California, who comes and levels Ryan Colasar. And the Spartans lose another yard. It'll be 2nd down and 16.
Carnegie Mellon was definitely looking something on that play, either a run play or a pass underneath. Case had 3 receivers lined up to the left side of the formation. They only had, Carnegie Mellon brought 2 defensive backs out to cover those players. So Mellon was expecting some kind of inside run or short pass.
Whalen checks off at the line of scrimmage, changes up the play. He has Deitman to his left. Whalen goes back to throw. 4 receivers in the game, flushed down to the pocket and throws it away. Everybody covered downfield, and Whalen gets rid of the football. And it'll be 3rd down and 16. It is senior day here at Case. They honored 9 senior football players prior to the game today as they play their final regular season home game here at Case Field. Of course, the Spartans hoping that they have an opportunity to host postseason action here at Case Field as they did a year ago. Here's the 3rd down play. Whalen back to throw, fires, middle of the field, caught by Nicely, gets down to the 12-yard line, still on his feet, gets to the 10, and he's knocked down at about the 10-yard line. It'll be short of the 1st down, and the Spartans will bring on the field goal unit as Sam Coffey will come out and attempt the field goal.
Coffey's had a pretty good season. 2nd time around for Coffey through the UAA. 6 of 9 this year overall, putting the ball through the uprights.
As long as a career high 44 yards. Football is marked on the 10-yard line, so this will be a 27-yard attempt for Sam Coffey. The snap back to Colasar. The kick is on its way, end over end, plenty of distance, it's good. And the Spartans take a 3-0 lead on the 27-yard field goal by the sophomore Sam Coffey. The kickoff from Coffey, and it's a low line drive kick that'll be caught at the 30-yard line. This is brought back by the upback Pat O'Brien, and he gets out to the 41-yard line. 11-yard return from O'Brien, 6'3" wide receiver out of Furnace, PA.
Looked like a pitcher just kind of putting his glove out, knocking a ball down on a line drive up the middle. I don't think O'Brien thought he was going to catch it. Ball came right at him, kind of put his arms out and returned it.
David Wilson, Ed Doherty here at Case Field as the Spartans and the Tartans do battle here in University Athletic Association play today. Tartans are a running offense. They keep it on the ground for the first play. First call goes to Chris Garcia, the freshman running back out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. He tries to turn the left corner, but he's tackled at the ankles. Might have picked up a couple there. It'll be 2nd down and 8. And the Spartans, you know it, have been preparing for this running game all week, and they are revved up to stop the ground game, and they will try and string out those plays when they try to hit the corners.
Well, Case is going to go with a 4-man front to start with, and they'll have 4 linebackers in the ball game as well. So they'll go with a 4-4-3 against this wing T offense.
Pantalone, the quarterback, is sacked. Getting back in there on the defensive coverage was Dale English, the freshman lineman out of Middleburg Heights, who levels Phil Pantalone. The quarterback sacked back at the 35-yard line. Pantalone was trying to decoy a little bit there. I think he was planning to throw it, but the fake was not sold. English was wise to it, and he got Pantalone from the blind side.
Well, he got by Curtis Meyer, the left guard, and a nice move on it. And now Carnegie Mellon's in a situation they just can't overcome offensively.
They will hand on a little draw play. This was handed to Ryan Phillips, and he has no running room. He's tackled. First man to him was Lee Sasala, the linebacker, who tackles him at the line of scrimmage, and it's quickly a 3-and-out for Carnegie Mellon. Pantalone really not able to get anything going on that drive, and it's 4th down and 16 with 9:15 to play here in the first quarter. 3-0 Case. Back to punt it away for the Tartans is Vince Jackalone, and he gets a good kick away, and it is going to go off of Bobby Bott's fingertips and out of bounds as it drifted over near the sideline. Bott could not backtrack and get to the ball, and it's out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Quite a punt for Jackalone, the punter for Carnegie Mellon. So the Spartans will take over deep in their own territory, leading it by a score of 3-0.
Well, that's the kind of offense we talked about Carnegie Mellon will run. At 4-1, they run the football. They're very conservative. They like to tilt the field and put their opponents in tough situations. Case, right here, 10-yard line. That's what Carnegie Mellon would like to do offensively.
They have 3 receivers in the game. They'll hand this one to Derek Bush. He has running room out across the 20-yard line and tackled near the 22. Derek Bush carrying it for the first time today. Bush, the 5'9", 175-pound sophomore out of Katanning, Pennsylvania, has rushed for 258 yards on the season, and he picks up 11 there, and it's 1st and 10, Case from the 21-yard line. Case operating in their own territory. 3-0 Spartans, 8:39 to go in the first quarter. Dan Whalen takes the snap in the shotgun, goes to Bush again. More running room straight up the middle across the 30-yard line. Tackled near the 33. Coverage provided by Chris Luther, the sophomore safety, who wrapped up Derek Bush after another big gain. So they go from the 10 out to the 33 on 2 carries by Derek Bush, and Bush stays in the backfield. He'll set up to Whalen's left. 3 receivers on the right side. Homick is alone on the left. They go to Homick with a short pass, and he is tackled. They'll give him forward progress back to the line of scrimmage.
Now, Steve McGovern had a big cushion on Homick there, and as soon as Homick stopped looking for that little underneath bubble screen, McGovern reacted, sprinted up to Homick, and brought him down for no gain.
7:55, clock continues to move. We're in the first quarter here at Case Field. Spartans leading it by a score of 3-0. Very chilly day here in Cleveland today, 48 degrees at game time. Whalen will keep this one to the 35 to the 40, and he's tackled at the 41-yard line. Brought down by John Shahold, the safety, who came up and leveled Whalen. So he took a pretty good lick there, Ed, but gets out to the 41.
That's a well-designed play. It was set up with the fact that the Case running game has got off to such a good start this afternoon. The entire Carnegie Mellon defense bid on the inside handoff. Whalen had enough to bring it on the outside. A naked bootleg, picked up 9 yards, and Case has 3rd and short.
So they bring in Corey Checken, the short yardage back. They'll hand it to Corey, puts his head down, keeps his feet moving, dives ahead. He needed to get out to the 43-yard line. It looks like he has it.
Yeah, I think by the length of the football, he's going to have a first down.
And the officiating crew says move the chains. They will not measure it. 7:03 to go in the first quarter. Case has taken the lead on a field goal by Sam Coffey.
Well, we've seen that all year for short yardage for the Spartans. They'll bring in 2 tight ends and put Corey Checken about 4 yards behind Whalen and just let him bull his way for a couple of yards.
Spartans split it up now, 2 receivers on each side. They'll go to Greg Meyer. Hits the 45, still on his feet to the 48-yard line and finally wrestled down. Nice run by Meyer, some power running there. Defensive coverage by Alexi Tegay, who played his high school ball at Solon High School here in Cleveland.
There's several local players on the Carnegie Mellon squad, including Tegay, an outstanding linebacker at Solon High School.
Colasar and Cowdrick on the right side. Nicely, Homick line up on the left. Now Cowdrick lines up close on the right side of the formation. Meyer is still in the backfield. They'll go to Greg Meyer, and he is going to be hit in the backfield by Tegay, and he wrestles him down. Might have lost a yard there, and it's 3rd down for Case. 5:57 to go here in the first quarter. We are at Case Field, situated here in the heart of the Case campus. The red brick dormitories surrounding the facility. One of the top home fields in all of Division III football here at Case Western Reserve. Homick and Nicely again on the left. Cowdrick and Colasar on the right. No tight end in the game right now. Checken is still in. It's 3rd down and 4 from the Case 49. Whalen stands in the pocket, throws, hits nicely with a pass across midfield, across the 40, and ran out of bounds right at the 40-yard line.
Whalen had the presence of mind there to beat the blitz. They brought Cowdrick in to protect him as well. He had a couple of extra seconds in the pocket and found Nicely out on the sideline.
Good protection by the line on Whalen, made that play. It's an 11-yard pickup. Sean Nicely now with 3 catches, 62 yards on the day, and we are still early here at Case. 5:08 to play in the first quarter. 3-zip Spartans. Cowdrick again in motion, sets up, tight on the right side. Whalen will go and hand to Deitman. Picks his way forward, has a nice block, gets across the 40. Still hard to bring this guy down. He's tackled at the 35-yard line. Probably should have been stopped about 4 yards earlier, Ed, but Bill Deitman just keeps those legs churning. A lesson maybe from Corey Checken. We see Checken do that all the time, and it always equals extra yardage.
Well, it's the 4-back system here at Case that has really kind of blended these guys into what you really could call like a 4 horsemen. They don't have a mentality that they're individuals. It's really a unit, and they never know when they're going to get called on, whether or not it's the first quarter or the fourth quarter, but the idea that they all could be fresh legs by the fourth quarter puts a big charge into those 4 offensive backs.
Deitman picks up 5, 2nd down and 5 from the Tartan 35-yard line. Whalen in the pocket, looks to throw. Now he'll roll out to the right side. Directing traffic, he'll tuck it under and keep it himself. Makes for the far sideline and goes out of bounds on the Carnegie Mellon side of the field. And it is good for a 1st down as he steps out at the 29-yard line.
Initially, Whalen was hoping that Ryan Colasar could get some extra coverage or a spread. Chris Luther, the defensive back, stayed with him.
Whalen will bring him to the line of scrimmage again. 1st and 10 from the Tartan 29. Whalen with an eye in the backfield will hand this one to Deitman across the 30 and down back to the 28-yard line. Might have picked up 1. Some good coverage there by Carnegie Mellon. Helping out on the tackle was Dan Falkenstein, the senior inside linebacker. The 3rd member of our broadcast team today is Nick Stroud. He's on the sideline. Let's check in with Nick.
Well, guys, with the wind blowing extremely hard down here, everything becomes a little bit more difficult. I got a chance to talk to the Spartans kicker, Sam Coffey, before the game, and I asked him if he has to kick field goals today, how would he change his approach? He said when the weather's like this, you really got to drive through the ball, kick it hard, and keep it low. We saw he did that successfully on his first field goal attempt. Also, something to keep in mind, Sam needs 6 more extra points to beat his own record from last season for most extra points in a season, and that would be 50.
Hopefully he has a chance to approach that number here today. Thanks very much, Nick. They keep it on the ground. Corey Checken carries it down to the 25-yard line. Yeah, Sam Coffey had that 27-yard field goal into the wind earlier in this quarter.
Well, and you saw on his kickoff following the field goal again, another low line drive, not getting the ball up into the wind.
5-yard line is the line of scrimmage. Spartans operating in Carnegie Mellon territory. Whalen back to throw on 3rd down. Looks to go to Check-in out of the backfield. And the pass knocked down by Alexi Tegay, who is all over the field so far for Carnegie Mellon. The former Comets linebacker knocks that pass away. And it is 4th and 6 for Case on the 25-yard line, and it looks as if they're going to go for it here, leading it by a score of 3-0 with 2:31 to go here in the first quarter.
It'd be a 42-yard field goal into the wind. That may be beyond Sam Coffey's range.
They have 4 receivers in the game. Brian Webster is checked in. He's the slot receiver on the left side. Whalen back to throw. Stands in the pocket, guns it for the end zone. Holmick tries to catch that ball as he falls down to his backside, and it's incomplete. Whalen trying to thread the needle there in double coverage. Holmick could not hang on to it. And the Spartans turn it over on downs, but had it very deep in Carnegie Mellon territory at the 25-yard line, and so that's where the Tartans will come back out. They were 3 and out on their first possession. This is only their 2nd time with the football, and already now almost 13 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Phil Pantalone is the quarterback. He'll go back at hand up the middle. And again, they work that 3-back offense. This is Anthony Ruzga, the sophomore fullback out of Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, who carries it for the first time today. Ruzga, one of their top ground gainers on the season, has rushed for over 730 yards now on the year and 9 touchdowns. And he runs that one for 4 yards, almost 5. 2nd down and 6 from the 29-yard line. Now less than 2 to play here in the first quarter at Case Field. 3-zip Spartans. Pantalone takes the snap. He wants to throw it, and it is picked off. Bobby Bott picks it off down the left sideline. He'll take this one in. It's a touchdown. Bobby Bott steps in front of that pass, and it's his 7th interception of the season, and the 2nd time that Bott has ran it back all the way.
Well, for Pantalone, he threw into double coverage, and Carnegie Mellon getting out of their comfort zone. Not liking to throw the football, Pantalone, quick 2-step drop, fired it out into double coverage, and it was picked off by Bott. Also over there for Case was Ben Klabina. Bott bobbled the football, hauled it in, and took it back 35 yards for the touchdown.
Bott, the 6'1 junior, played his high school ball at Midview High School, the former Mitty, with 7 interceptions now on the season. Coffey with the point after. It is up, it is good, and the Spartans take advantage of the turnover and extend their lead to 10-0. We'll take a 30-second timeout here. Spartans with the early lead. More first quarter action in a moment here on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. Ready to kick off, leading it by a score of 10-0. This football will bounce, and it will go out of bounds on the kickoff. It bounces out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Well, the Spartans getting the interception by Bobby Bott. That is the 14th interception by the Spartans defense this year. Bott with exactly 50% of those now, with 7 on the year.
Team record is 8. Bott looking for that this season. And for the Spartans, they've now extended their turnover margin to plus 14. Still good for a top 10 in the country, even after last week's -4 performance.
Currently, Case ranks 9th in that department among Division III institutions. So they will take the football at the 40-yard line following the penalty. And the Tartans offense back out on the field. They will go to Ruska again. He hits the line of scrimmage and is stacked up there by Jeff Brown. Brown, the junior linebacker, wrestles Ruska to the ground. It's at the 41-yard line, so a short pickup. Jeff Brown out of North Olmsted High School leading the Spartans in tackles so far this season. And Ed, after the graduation last year of Tom Brew, there was some question who would step up and sort of become the leader of that defensive unit. Brian Calderon, the senior, injured in the first game of the season this year, has really not been able to play, likely will not return. Jeff Brown has really stepped into that role and become the emotional leader on the field for the defensive unit. Another running play by Ruska yields maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd down and a long 7.
Well, Brown is a free spirit both on the field and off the field. And for Jeff Brown, leads the team not only in tackles, but he leads the team in tackles for loss as well. So he's very active on each team's side of the line of scrimmage. He's not afraid to come on the run blitz, not afraid to play in the backfield, also not afraid to play downfield in pass coverage either.
Pantalone in trouble as he scrambles in the pocket. He'll tuck it under and try and run upfield. He gets to the 45-yard line, so he picks up 2 on the scramble, but he's finally wiped out by Lee Sasala, and the punting unit comes back on for the Carnegie Mellon Tartans. And coming out to punt it away will be Rich Pattison, the sophomore, out of Rocky River, Ohio. Pattison on the season, averaging 42 yards a kick, and we have a whistle blowing. And that's the end of the first quarter. So they will punt to start the second quarter on 4th down and 5. After 1 quarter at Case Field, the score, the Spartans 10 and the Tartans nothing. Is underway in the second quarter. The punt by Pattison bounces out of bounds at the 17-yard line. It's exactly the spot where Sam Coffey's last kickoff went out of bounds. So how do you like that? Pattison with a nice punt, pins Case back deep, and they are in their own territory at the 17-yard line. 14:53 to go here in the second quarter. 10-0 Case. Be checking in with Nick Stroud momentarily here. We'll check out the first play from the Spartans. Dan Whalen back in the shotgun. Will try and run it himself. The quarterback keeper doesn't get very far. Whalen tackled near the 20-yard line. Let's go down onto the field to Nick Stroud. Yep, we'll check in with Nick in a moment. 14:38 and counting. Clock continues to move. Spartans leading it by a score of 10-0 here in the second quarter. They have a 27-yard field goal by Sam Coffey and a 35-yard interception return by Bobby Bott, accounting for the scoring so far today. Coming up at halftime today, we'll be hearing from Ryan Colasar, the junior wideout out of Mentor, Ohio. He'll join us to talk football on our halftime show. Crossing pattern for Nicely is incomplete. Nicely did have a step on the defensive back tailing him, John Shahol, who was trying to close ground. The pass a little too far out in front of Nicely, incomplete. 3rd down and 9 now for the Spartans. The football on the Case 19-yard line.
Well, for the Spartans in that first quarter, Dave, over 10 minutes of offense, which meant that the Carnegie Mellon offense only had the ball for about 4.5 minutes. Case offense really controlling the ball, both sides of the line of scrimmage defensively. Carnegie Mellon not able to get anything going.
They go to Bush out of the backfield here on the 3rd down play. That went off the mark. Bush unable to haul it in, and it's 4th down and 9. And so the Spartans will come out and punt. This will be Whalen's first punt of the afternoon. Dan Whalen, for all of the accolades he receives, and well-deserved at quarterback, is also a terrific punter, averaging 38.5 yards per punt this year. He hasn't had to do it very often. His long this year, 75 yards, which took place here at home earlier this season, which ranked 2nd in school history.
Well, with the wind and a good kick here, Whalen might get an 80-yarder off.
Here is the kick with the wind. It's a good punt high in the air, and it bounces. Nope, it is caught in the air by Daniel Miller, who tries to bring it back. He tried to cut back to the inside of the field. He's cut down at the 40-yard line. So Whalen with a good kick gets Carnegie Mellon back in their own territory. It'll be marked at the 39-yard line.
A 42-yard kick for Dan Whalen. That Miller caught over the shoulder. Had he let the ball go, it probably would have hit and bounced for another 10 or 15 yards.
13:54 to go here in the second quarter. They will hand this one up the middle to Ruska, and he tries to pick his way forward, but he's brought down by Bott. Also had help from Jeff Brown. Picks up a couple on the play. Second down and 7 for Carnegie Mellon. These teams are members of the University Athletic Association. Case 1-0 in league play. Carnegie Mellon lost their conference opener last week, so they are 0-1. Case won the conference last year with a perfect 3-0 league mark. 2-7, second and 7 from the 42-yard line. Phil Pantalone, the quarterback, calls out the signals. Man in motion, they'll hand it to Chris Garcia, and he tries to turn the left corner, but he's tackled for a loss. Nicely defended by the Spartans. Getting back in there first, John Genovese, who brought down Garcia, and that will go for about a 5-yard loss.
Unbelievable. The Case defense now has held Carnegie Mellon to, is it 2 yards after you add in the -5?
Right now, Garcia,
10 plays,
3, yeah.
10 yards and 10 plays, 2 yards.
2 net yards today. Ruska had 11, has 11 on the day, but 2 losses. They'll reverse this one. They'll put it into the hands of Ryan Phillips. Same play running to the opposite side of the field. He's tackled. Bobby Bott gets there defensively, coming up from the defensive backfield, and he takes out Phillips. Football marked now at the 35-yard line. And it's 4th down and 14, a net loss of 5 from the spot where they recovered or took over the football.
Jeff Brown came off the field limping, hobbles to the sideline.
Here's the kick by Pattison. It'll be taken by Bott at the 35-yard line, but he slides down as he tries to make the catch and unable to make a return there. But Bott secures it for Case, and the Spartans offense will come out. 11:59 to go here in the second quarter. 10-0 Case as the offense takes over. They'll mark the football on the Case 36-yard line. They are taking a look at Jeff Brown on the training table, and that is not a good sign, Ed, as we have seen this before. They have his left shoe off and taking a look at his ankle. First play on the ground for the Spartans, and that is handed to Greg Meyer, and he is knocked down at the 35-yard line. We'll see if they give him back to the line of scrimmage. Very close. So second down and 10. They have the sock off, the tape off, taking a look at Jeff Brown's left leg. Dan Whalen calls out the signals. Corey Chekin is in the backfield with Whalen. Whalen rolls out, looking for Homick. Catch is made. Homick turns it upfield and dives forward past the 45-yard line, tripped up by Socrates Zacharias of Carnegie Mellon.
That extra effort's going to get Zach Homick a first down for the Case Spartans.
Fell forward for the first down. Out at the 46-yard line now, still operating in their own territory. 11:20 to go here. Chilly day in Cleveland. University Athletic Association action between Case and Carnegie Mellon, making the drive over from Pittsburgh. Dan Whalen calls out the signals. The junior quarterback out of Willoughby South takes the snap. Will go to Chekin on a draw play and straight ahead past midfield. Chekin down to the 47-yard line. A pickup of close to 7 for Corey Chekin.
That's just straight ahead blocking by the offensive line. Earlier they had a couple of big runs in which the offensive line had a trap or a crossover block. Here just zone blocking, and Corey Chekin followed their big push downfield for 7 yards.
Chekin, the short yardage back, but Over 200 yards rushing on the season and 8 touchdowns, averaging a touchdown for every 5 times he touches the football. They'll go to check it again. He hits the line of scrimmage and again pushes forward and picks up about another 4 yards as he gets down to the 42-yard line. He had some good blocking in front that time by Chris Center. And it is a first down for Case as they move the chains again, now into Carnegie Mellon territory. 10:26 to go in quarter number 2. 10-0 Case. Whalen will work from the shotgun again. Nicely and Homick line up on the right with Nicely in the slot. Cowdrick, Colasar on the left. Whalen takes the snap. Quick out. Goes to Homick. They'll cut it back to the 40, 35. Flag down. And Homick dives down to the 31-yard line.
That ball's coming back. Sean Nicely going to get caught for getting his arms out and around the defender.
It is a holding call. Nicely done, Ed, catching that penalty. And they will move it back from the spot of the foul, which I believe took place at the 40-yard line. So this will move them back to midfield with 10:04 to play here in the second quarter. Try to get a report on the condition of Jeff Brown. Let's go down to Nick Stroud.
All right, guys, just checking in on Jeff Brown, and he's in a lot of pain, excruciating pain, and it's the left ankle. He told the trainers that he stepped on one of the Carnegie Mellon players' foot a little bit awkwardly, and it bent that left ankle. The trainer took the shoe off. They're retaping it right now. His return as of now is questionable.
If Jeff Brown can return, he will. Whalen on the screen pass. Goes to Meyer. He is hit at the 50-yard line. Big hit turned in by Steve McGovern. It didn't knock Meyer down, but got him off balance, and he stumbles out of bounds.
Well, Chris Center and Ryan Breon were out there leading that screen pass. Unfortunately, the Carnegie Mellon Tartans read it very well and had 4 red helmets out there to the 2 white ones. Center and Breon were just overmatched.
So it's second down and 18 from midfield. The Spartans bring in that 4 receiver set, 3 of them on the left side, including Brian Webster in the slot. Whalen changes the snap count. Now he takes it, goes to Homick again. That little quick pass out in the flat has been there all day. It gets to the 45-yard line, but it's now third down.
Well, Devin Murray was coming on a blitz, so Whalen had to get rid of the football quickly. Found Homick out just off the line of scrimmage.
So they will line up on third down and 14. The football is at the 46-yard line of Carnegie Mellon. 10-0 Case, 8:55 to go here in the second quarter. And Whalen will direct traffic. 3 receivers on the far side, including Colasar wide left. Homick, the lone man on the right side. Whalen calls out the signals, takes the snap in the gun, rolls to his left. Now he's in trouble. Spins away from a pursuer. Now he's still in trouble. He gets a block from Center. Whalen buying time. He's back at his own 30. Wings it downfield. Cowdrick makes the catch at the 40. Down to the 36-yard line. It'll be short of the first down, but Dan Whalen finds Cowdrick as it sort of became a freestyle sandlot event. Whalen ranging way back into his own territory, threw it from the 30-yard line and found Cowdrick. And it'll be fourth down now and 5 as they pick up 8 yards on the play from the original line of scrimmage, but that pass went about 35 in the air.
That may be one of the few highlight plays that make the reel for an 8-yard gain. Dan Whalen caught the snap from the shotgun formation at midfield, rolled all the way back to the 30-yard line before he got rid of the football.
Well, they'll take no chances here, and it looks like Case will take a timeout, or did they? The whistle's blew. It's an official's timeout.
It's a delay of game. I think they're going to get Case for the play clock.
Play clock went down without getting the snap off, and so the Spartans will now punt it, and Whalen's got his arms out like, what's going on? Let's get it lined up.
Realistically, that might give Whalen just enough room. With the wind, those extra 5 yards might not be a bad thing.
They will punt this one away. Whalen will try and angle it toward the corner and pin Carnegie Mellon deep. It's 10-0 Case. Here is the snap back to Whalen, and he will punt it down the middle of the field. It's going to bounce at the 5-yard line, takes a Case bounce, and this one will be downed just inside the 5. So the bounce again goes Case's way, And the Tartans will take over, down 10-0 to Case, inside their own 5-yard line with 7:19 to go here in the second quarter. We hope you're enjoying our coverage of Case Western Reserve football today. And if you are watching via case.edu, we hope you're enjoying the video portion of our webcast today. It's being directed by Mike Bacon. Our executive producer is Mike Cubitt. Back at the Salem headquarters, WHKW, it is Nick Miller at the controls today. So we're glad you are tuned in wherever you are today, either in front of your computer or on the radio here locally in the Cleveland area. First play on the ground gets back out to the 7-yard line. Pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8 for the Tartans. Jeff Brown is back out on the field right now. They took a look at that ankle, retaped it, and Brown back out there at his linebacker position. This will be handed to Ryan Phillips, tries to get over the right tackle, and he is tripped up at the 10-yard line, a pickup of 3, and it's 3rd down and 5. And an injured Carnegie Mellon player on the play, that is Christopher Garcia.
Garcia blocking on that wing.
Garcia flat on his back right now, and they will get some training staff out there to take a look at Garcia. So far today, Dan Whalen, 12 of 17, passing for 106 yards. Phil Pantalone, 0 of 1 with 1 interception today. Receiving for Case, Zach Homick has caught 5 passes for 19 yards so far. Sean Nicely, 3 catches, 62 yards. Tim Cowdrick with a couple of grabs for 26 yards, including a key reception on the drive earlier that resulted in the field goal. Case is 8-0 on the season, currently ranked 10th in the country by the American Football Coaches Association poll, and 13th according to Division III Football.com, D3Football.com, and so the Spartans continued to be ranked among the top Division III teams in America. 8-0 on the season. The Tartans are 4-4 as they meet here today on this chilly and windy day here in Cleveland. They are still working on Garcia down there on the field. What we'll do here is take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back with more. It's 10-0 Case here in the second quarter. We'll have more after this on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. Now the junior out of Grosse Pointe, Michigan.
Klabina got a hand on it, tipped it up in the air, and Bobby Bott almost had his 2nd interception and 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
Bott would have gotten that one at about the 13-yard line and would have had no one in front of him, but it did drop incomplete. So it's 4th down and 5 now for Carnegie Mellon with 6:21 to play here in the second quarter. 10-0. Spartans leading it. They'll get the football back in good field position. Pattison with the punt. It'll go on one bounce to Sean Nicely, and he will take it back at the 45. Still on his feet, ranging out to the far side, tries to turn the corner left, and is finally tackled over near the Carnegie Mellon bench. And another player shaken up for the Tartans on the play is Michael Rednor, the sophomore linebacker out of Washington Crossing, PA, is down, and he is injured after helping out on that tackle of Sean Nicely. So the Spartans offense will inherit the football, but again, a break in the action for an injury. Coming up at halftime today, the junior wide receiver Ryan Colasar will be our guest. We'll also talk Case Western Reserve Wrestling with senior 174-pound wrestler BJ Greenman, who will get underway today with his teammates over at Messiah College in Pennsylvania. They have a meet to open the season today, and we'll check in with BJ and get his preview on the Case wrestling season coming up at halftime as well. Here come the Spartans, as they are now taking a look at 2 injured players over on the Carnegie Mellon sideline. Whalen under center, takes the snap. He'll go back, fake a handoff to Deitman and roll out. Now he's looking deep for Cowdrick, who is wide open. Cowdrick makes the catch at the 5, and he's in for the touchdown. 48 yards from Whalen to Cowdrick. And the Spartans extend the lead to 16-0.
Well, Dan Whalen had 3 options on that play. He had DJ Sutka underneath about 10 yards downfield, nicely about 20 yards downfield, and Cowdrick wide open down inside the 20-yard line.
When Whalen rolled out, he had absolutely no pressure and had a chance to get everything into that throw. And he hits Cowdrick in stride, who goes in for the touchdown. Cowdrick with his 4th touchdown pass of the season. Of course, he had 3 at Hiram 2 weeks ago. And again, the Spartans caught on a, it's against Carnegie Mellon with 12 men on the field this time.
Yeah, this legitimately had 12 men lined up to block that extra point.
Mark Shedlowski ends up jogging off the field, and the Spartans now will set up for the extra point. Sam Coffey out to try the PAT. The penalty is declined. And the Spartans will try and extend the lead to 17-0 with just under 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Colasar will hold. The snap is back, the hold is down, the kick is up, and Coffey hits the PAT, and it's 17-0 Case here midway through the second quarter. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Back with more after this on the Spartans Broadcasting Network.
You want the scoring in the first half?
Gregory Pitts,
okay, who got
and
these?
Justin Rosenberry back received from Carnegie Mellon.
I mean, it's a little bit one-sided, but whatever. Who got
Well, the Spartans leading it by a score of 17-0 as Sam Coffey gets ready for the kickoff, Ed, and they have put some points up early again.
Yeah, scoring in the first half has not been the problem for the Case Spartans this year. They're outscoring their opponents now 266-17 in the first half this season.
Quite an impressive margin in the first half as they have really put teams away week in and week out. And today they lead the Tartans 17-0. The wind blows the football off the tee as Coffey approaches it. And so they will tee it up again. And Coffey ready to kick off from the Case 30-yard line as the Tartans await the kickoff. And they may have to have Bobby Bott come over and hold that football on the tee.
Well, and for Whalen now, 16 touchdown passes for the junior. And you have to remember, Whalen's played in maybe 60% of all the plays for Case this year, including missing a game with injury. 16 touchdowns in 60% of the plays. Not a bad percentage for Dan Whalen.
We'll share some facts of Dan Whalen a little bit later that shows how close he is to some all-time records here at Case. Kickoff will go back to the 10-yard line. It's caught there by Greg Pitts. Pitts across the 25 out to the 30-yard line, finally tackled at the 33. And that's where the Tartans will take over with 5:52 to go here in the first half. Let's go down on the sideline and check in with Nick.
Well, guys, that last touchdown was a great play-action fake by the Spartans, and the reason it worked is the Spartans have noticed that Carnegie Mellon's been over-pursuing on the outside run all game. They went ahead and faked that. Whalen was able to roll over and find the wide-open receiver. The offensive line was just celebrating over here. I overheard Michael Allen say, "We faked him so good, the linebackers were already up to me before Dan even faked the ball."
Very exciting play for the Spartans on that catch by Cowdrick. They keep it on the ground. Anthony Rusga runs it straight ahead, hits the pile, and ends up picking up about 5 on the play. Second down and 5 for the Spartans here with 5.5, or for the Tartans with 5.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
Well, midway through the second quarter, the Spartans have put up 227 yards in total offense. The Carnegie Mellon Tartans have 10.
They will hand this one to Ryan Phillips. Phillips trying to turn the right corner and does, and gets close to first down yardage. We'll see if he's there or if he is a little bit short. He needed to make it out to the 43-yard line, and that looks good enough for the first down as Ryan Phillips picks up 6 yards, and it's 1st and 10 Tartans.
That is the first time this afternoon that Carnegie Mellon has moved the chains. Case with 11 first downs. For Carnegie Mellon, they have just one.
That is their first down of the afternoon. We have just 5 minutes left here in the second quarter. Anthony Ruska again tries to step inside as he hits the 45-yard line. Might have picked up 2. Second down for the Tartans.
And the Tartans, again, are not built to play from behind.
A predominantly running attack by the Tartans and not really geared to score lots of points quickly. They'll huddle up and call the play. They send in a new receiver. That's Jonathan Stasso, who lines up on the left side. Phillips in motion. Back to throw Pantalone, but an illegal procedure penalty is coming up as flags come out as the snap went back to Pantalone. This will go against Carnegie Mellon.
A couple of guys moving early, trying to get into that deceptive offense. Very good at the play fake, very good at the counter and the inside handoff. Some of those scissor plays that you're used to seeing out of the wing tee.
If you heard us earlier, Jeff Brown was injured on a play the last time the Spartans defense was on the field, but came over, got some attention. He is back on the field right now, Ed, and appears to be moving around pretty well out there.
And was in on a play that ended Carnegie Mellon's last drive.
Second down and 13. Pantalone back to throw. Little reverse handoff as they hand it to Ruska, but the Spartans kept their eye on Ruska, noticed he had the ball. Jeff Brown, first man to him, came in, made the tackle. Bobby Bott was there as well.
Almost looked like a inverted Statue of Liberty play.
Now that's the first time you've pulled that one out this year.
First time we've seen this wing tee offense, and it's not archaic, but certainly teams that used to run it a lot now have kind of gone more to the wide open offense. So Carnegie Mellon has that advantage in which their offense isn't seen by many teams.
Third down and 14. Pantalone back to throw, wings it downfield, and it is going to be overthrown. Intended for Stasso, the sophomore wideout. Stasso out of North Huntington, PA, and it is incomplete. Fourth down and 14 for Carnegie Mellon. They will have to come out and punt with Pattison coming back out on the field. Bobby Bott will set up at his own 25-yard line to receive this kick. 17-0 Case with 3:23 to go here in the first half of play. Pattison ready. He takes the snap and he puts the right foot into it. Will kick it towards Sean nicely, but this one angled out of bounds, and a good kick as it goes out of bounds at the 17-yard line, and that's where the Spartans will take over. Now the junior out of Grosse Pointe, Michigan.
Klabina got a hand on it, tipped it up in the air, and Bobby Bott almost had his second interception and second touchdown of the afternoon.
Bott would have gotten that one at about the 13-yard line and would have had no one in front of him, but it did drop incomplete, so it's fourth down and 5 now. Tim Cowdrick on a 48-yard touchdown pass earlier in the quarter. That has been the big play. Bobby Bott had an interception return for a touchdown, and Sam Coffey a field goal. They'll go to Bill Deitman now, right through the seam, opened up by the Case offensive line, and he gets out to the 24-yard line. A pickup of 7 for the sophomore, Bill Deitman. Another one of those Lake County guys on this Case team. We'll talk to Ryan Colasar about that at halftime.
Well, Marcus Klosinski came from the left tackle position, brought it to the near side of the field, had a nice kick out block against Devin Murray, and Deitman had a nice seam to run through.
Whalen will hand this one again to Deitman, going for the first down, spins and looks to have the first down as he gets out close to the 27-yard line. Bill Deitman spinning and moving and finally got enough yardage to move the chains. That football mark now at the 28-yard line. First and 10 Case with 2:38 to go here in the second quarter. Corey Cheka will line up in the backfield with Whalen now. Off to Whalen's left by a couple of yards. 3 receivers on the left side. Whalen looks downfield. Pump fakes now. Now he'll run it himself. He gets a block from Cheka, and that springs Whalen for about 5 more yards as he steps out of bounds across the 40-yard line.
And Sean nicely with a nice late block against Sean Kennedy as well. Allowed Whalen to pick up an extra 5 yards. Kennedy wants a block in the back. but it looked like Nicely did get his helmet to the front side.
Check-in really sprang a good block right there. Whalen was out of bounds right about the same time as that hit on Kennedy, but Kennedy was lobbying for the flag, didn't get it. And it's 1st and 10 Case from the 41-yard line. Whalen calls out the signals in the shotgun. No drop. Throws to Cowdrick over the middle of the field. Makes the catch. Absorbs a big hit. And hangs on to the football. John Shahol came in there and absolutely leveled Tim Cowdrick, but somehow he stayed in possession of the ball.
Tim Cowdrick may get hit harder than any player on the field.
Then he jumps up and gives the first down signal.
He just keeps coming back.
Again, Whalen looking to throw a quick pass to Nicely, and the pass batted down, incomplete. Nice defensive coverage by one of the more fun names to say we've seen this year, Socrates Zacharias. Zacharias getting right in front of that pass, knocking it down. Incomplete for Dan Whalen, who is now 14 of 20 on the day for 166 yards. Under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter. 17-0 Case. Whalen rolls out right, hits Homick with a pass at the 40-yard line, and he is grabbed there and driven to the turf by Devin Murray. But another completion. This one goes for about 6 yards out to the 41-yard line. 2nd down and 4 for the Spartans.
Greg Debelak giving an earful to Zach Homick on that play as Homick turned the ball to the inside, and with under 2 minutes to go, he wanted Homick to get out of bounds. That way they wouldn't have to burn a timeout.
Timeout is taken by the Spartans. We'll take a 30-second break as well. 17-0 Case here on this Saturday afternoon against Carnegie Mellon.
Join the ride. RCA, proud sponsor of Case Athletics.
Well, the Spartans line up after the timeout, and they're ready to get back to action, so we'll hear from Riley Painting again in a few moments. Whalen has the football, and he's in trouble. Flushed out of the pocket, over to the left side. Now he'll run it, 45-40, and out of bounds. Whalen might have picked up a yard on that play on 3rd and 4, and so the Spartans' coverage breaks down there as Whalen was quickly flushed out to the far side.
Well, there's a positive for the Case Spartans so far in the first half, maybe something unexpected so far this game, the first 30 minutes, has been the fact that the Spartan offense has run for nearly 100 yards already. So they're moving the football on the ground. That's kind of been the lost art in this offense this season.
Yeah, Case right now 98 rushing yards on the first half, only 17 net rushing yards for the Tartans. Whalen rolls out right side, hits Homick with a pass on 4th down. Homick steps across the 30, out of bounds at the 29-yard line. An 11-yard pickup as the Spartans convert on 4th and 3. Homick makes the catch. That is his 7th catch of the day.
Greg Debelak pointed over to Homick again and just nodded an improvement. Earlier in the drive, when Homick turned the ball inside, Case had to burn a timeout. That time, Homick caught the football, went to the outside, and got out of bounds.
1:28 to go here in the second quarter. Case driving and leading it already 17-0, trying to tack on points before the half. Whalen back to throw in the shotgun, down the middle of the field. That pass is knocked down and almost intercepted by Alexi Tagay. Tagay bobbling that ball up in the air as he got a hand on it, and it hit the turf before he could corral it.
I don't think Whalen expected Tagay to be able to get up that high on the pass. Nice vertical leap from the junior linebacker.
So he breaks up that play. It's 2nd down and 10. The Spartans with the football in Carnegie Mellon territory right now. The football at the 29-yard line. Whalen will call out the signals. 4 receivers set, 2 on each side. Bush in the backfield. Whalen rolls out, flips it downfield for Nicely. Catch at the 10, the 5, and he's in for the touchdown. Sean Nicely. A 29-yard touchdown pass from Dan Whalen makes it 23-0 with 1:17 to go here in the second quarter.
Case making it look easy this afternoon against Carnegie Mellon.
Sean Nicely sidesteps away from Chris DeFrancesco, the sophomore safety, That was the only chance they had to get nicely down outside the end zone, and he got away from DeFrancisco and tiptoed in down the far sideline. Sean Nicely with his 9th touchdown reception of the season. Sam Coffey with the PAT, it's good, and the Spartans lead it 24-0. Back after this timeout on the Spartans Broadcasting Network.
Time to get away. Why not hit the road? Enjoy a relaxing getaway at the Intercontinental Hotel Cleveland. Call today and ask about the Get Your Motor Running Getaway package, starting at only $149 per night. Jonathan Staso, Gregory Pitts, and Justin Rosenberry back to receive for Carnegie Mellon. Sam Coffey to kick off for Case Western Reserve.
You can do more than that. Like all get like together and
Opened it up. They lead it 24-0. Sean Nicely now has made 4 receptions today for 91 yards. He has his 9th touchdown catch of the season. 24-0 Spartans as they prepare to kick off. Sam Coffey approaches the football, and this is a booming kick all the way back to the 5-yard line, where Jonathan Staso will bring it back across the 20 to the 25-yard line. He's driven down by Brian Metalsitz on the kickoff coverage. And the Tartans will come out and take over with just 1:09 to play here in the quarter. Football will be marked at the 25-yard line.
You would expect Carnegie Mellon to go back into their conservative mode. Really no success throwing the football today. 0 for 3 through the air. 2 of those could have been, one was intercepted. Another one could have been intercepted. Pantalone's also been sacked once.
24-0 Spartans. And they will send it back to Pantalone. He'll hand it on the far side to Ryan Phillips, who tries to turn the corner. He does. He gets about 4 yards before he is tackled. Mike Pelyak getting in there to bring down the ball carrier, Ryan Phillips. Clock continues to move with 50 seconds left. Carnegie Mellon with 3 timeouts, but apparently not going to use them right now. Rich Lackner is the head coach of Carnegie Mellon, and he has been a fixture in Pittsburgh in his 23rd season as the head coach at Carnegie Mellon University. They'll hand this one to Ruzka straight up the middle. He hits the 35 and will be stopped right there.
Well, Lackner's also a 1979 graduate at Carnegie Mellon, so he's been Pittsburgh proud his entire life. 9 conference championships in his time at Carnegie Mellon, and he's never had a sub-500 season while in charge of the Tartans.
Yeah, career record for Rich Lackner of 160, 68, and 2. They'll hand this one to Phillips again. Turns the corner, has some running room to the 50-yard line before he's finally brought down. Nice run by Phillips as he gets out close to midfield, and that time there will be a timeout taken by Carnegie Mellon with 11 seconds left. And so Rich Lackner figuring that he might as well take the timeout here. With 11 seconds left, they may be able to take a shot downfield. But as you have alluded to, Ed, it's very difficult for Carnegie Mellon to come back after getting down like this because they don't have a lot of passing or receiving options to keep teams honest.
No, the way they beat you is with the misdirection, the counters, your inability to find the football with the amount of play fakes that they have. So is it inside, is it outside, is it a reverse? And that's where they're going to get you over pursuing. They're going to get you collapsing onto a space that the football isn't going to. And then outside of that box, here comes the Carnegie Mellon Tartans free down the field. That's where Carnegie Mellon gets the bulk of their yardage, is in that misdirection counter play.
24-0. Case leading it with 11 seconds left. Pantalone back, wants to go deep downfield, fires to the middle of the field, and it is a sliding catch by Brendan Howe. 2.6 seconds left. They will stop the clock to move the chains. Brendan Howe somehow gets that one before it hits the turf.
In live action, it looked like it skipped up on him.
And they will take another timeout here. How the 6'5", 205-pound junior out of Grosse Pointe, Michigan, makes a nice sliding grab on that pass by Pantalone. That's his first completion of the day. And so they get down to the 36-yard line, still well out of field goal range. And so they will have one more shot at the end zone here, so they do spend the timeout. First down and 10, Tartans. And we might as well throw it out here, Ed. We talked about this at length last year. The Spartans against the Tartans today. We have not been able to come up with another instance of two teams playing each other where their nicknames rhyme. We cannot think of another one. So maybe somebody else can come up with one.
They can email it to us, as well as their comments.
sportsinfo@case.edu. That email is up and running today, sportsinfo@case.edu. Spartans and Tartans.
Senior day here at Case Field.
Back to throw Pantalone. This is the final play of the first half. He'll gun it deep downfield, and it is a crowd in the corner of the end zone, and it's knocked away by Bobby Bott, who had the big defensive play of the half on an interception return for a touchdown. He breaks up that pass in the end zone, and we head to the halftime break with Case holding a 24-0 lead here at Case Field. Coming up on our halftime show, we'll visit with junior receiver Ryan Colasar. We'll also have as our guest senior wrestler BJ Greenman. And then later, Ed will have a check of all of the first half stats as we get you ready for the third quarter, which will come your way in just a few moments. Stay tuned. We'll have our halftime show coming up. But first, we'll check in with Nick Stroud on the sideline. He's with Greg Debelak.
Well, Coach, it's a cold, windy day. All signs would point to the run game, but you guys are still airing it out. Wayland's got over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Well, I think it started with the running game, though. We came out in the first quarter when we were going into the win and ran the ball very effectively. So I think that set up the whole game. We haven't turned the ball over, and our defense is forced to turn over and scored points. So, yeah, things are going our way, but I think it started with being able to run the ball effectively in the first quarter.
Now, Carnegie Mellon, on the other hand, they are sticking to that run game, and you guys are doing a great job of shutting it down. Is this kind of what you expected from them offensively in this game?
Yeah, they're going to stay patient, and that's what they do, and that's why it's so important to jump out in front on them. It makes their job a little more difficult. But, hey, that's what they do, and our defense is doing a great job of shutting them down.
I know at this point in the season, every game's important, especially with the postseason looming, but this is also the academic bowl. Does that have any extra significance for you and the players?
Absolutely. We recruit a ton of the same players. I could name a ton of players on their team as their coach could for our team that we both recruited. So, it's for bragging rights, but it's also for recruiting bragging rights, too.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.